Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you something. Do you ever wonder why only 2% of people succeed while the other 98% fall short? Let me break it down for you, because the answer is not a mystery, it's a mindset, a choice, and a willingness to fight for the life you deserve. First, let me make this clear. Success isn't reserved for a chosen few. It's not about where you come from, how much money you start with, or how many degrees you have. It's about what you're willing to do, how hard you're willing to work, and most importantly, how much you're willing to believe in yourself. Here's the truth about the 2%. They don't wait for permission to chase their dreams. They don't sit around blaming their circumstances, their family, or the world for where they are. They own their decisions. They wake up every day hungry, disciplined, and focused. You see, the 98%, they have dreams too. Oh, they talk about them. They fantasize about them. They might even start working on them for a little while, but then what happens? Fear shows up. Doubt creeps in. Excuses start pouring out. I don't have the time. I don't have the resources. What if I fail? Let me tell you something. Excuses will kill more dreams than failure ever will. The 2%, they know fear is real, but they move anyway. They know failure is part of the process. They don't see failure as the end, they see it as a lesson. Every time they fall, they get back up, dust themselves off, and try again. They know that growth comes from discomfort, and they're willing to be uncomfortable for as long as it takes. Here's another thing about the 2%. They don't care about what other people think. While the 98% are busy worrying about opinions, judgments, and fitting in, the 2% are out there standing out, taking risks, and creating opportunities. And let me tell you something else. The 2% are willing to outwork everybody in the room. They're up early, they're grinding late, and they're laser focused. They don't waste time scrolling, gossiping, or complaining. They're investing every second into their goals because they know success doesn't happen by accident. It's earned. But here's the most important thing about the 2%. They have faith. Faith in themselves, faith in their purpose, and faith in something greater than themselves. They know they're destined for more, and they refuse to settle for less. Now let me ask you, are you ready to step into that 2%? Are you ready to stop making excuses and start making moves? Because let me tell you, it's not going to be easy. But if you're willing to put in the work, face your fears, and trust the process, you'll find out just how unstoppable you really are. Success isn't reserved for the lucky ones. It's waiting for the bold ones, the ones who decide that their dream is worth it, their purpose is worth it, and their life is worth it. So, what's it going to be? Because the only thing standing between you and your success is you. Thank you. Success is a mindset, not a privilege. This statement holds the key to understanding why some people achieve greatness while others remain stuck in mediocrity. Too often, people look at success and think it belongs to those who are lucky, born into wealth, or naturally gifted. They believe success is something handed down, like an inheritance, or reserved for a select few who have all the right circumstances in their favor. But this kind of thinking couldn't be further from the truth. Success doesn't belong to the privileged. It belongs to those who are willing to claim it through their mindset and actions. It's not about what you have when you start. It's about how you think and what you do with what you have. When you adopt a mindset for success, you stop focusing on limitations and start seeing opportunities. People who succeed don't waste time lamenting what they lack. They understand that the power to change their lives begins with their thoughts and attitudes. If you constantly dwell on why things aren't working or why you can't get ahead, you create a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like your mind sets the tone for your actions, and if your thoughts are full of doubt and negativity, your actions will reflect that. On the other hand, those who achieve success believe in possibilities. They see setbacks not as the end, but as stepping stones to something greater. They shift their focus from obstacles to solutions, and that mental shift is the foundation of their progress. One of the most important components of a success mindset is the belief that growth is possible. The people who succeed are not necessarily the smartest, the strongest, or the most talented. They are the ones who are willing to learn, adapt, and grow. They have what is often referred to as a growth mindset, a belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through effort, learning, and perseverance. When you have a fixed mindset, you see challenges as threats and you shy away from them because you fear failure. But with a growth mindset, you welcome challenges as opportunities to learn and improve. This shift in perspective makes all the difference. Success isn't about being perfect. It's about being willing to grow into the person who can achieve your goals. A success mindset also requires taking responsibility for your life. People who remain in the 98% often blame external circumstances for their lack of progress. They point to their upbringing, their environment, or the actions of others as reasons for their struggles. While it's true that life isn't always fair and that some people face more significant obstacles than others, the reality is that no one else is going to come along and create your success for you. The 2% understand this. They take ownership of their decisions, their actions, and their outcomes. They know that while they can't control everything that happens to them, they can control how they respond. And in that response lies their power. Another aspect of a success mindset is the ability to stay focused on your vision. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. Social media, endless entertainment, and the constant demands of life can pull you in 100 different directions. People who succeed are masters of focus. They know what they want and they keep their eyes on the prize. They don't allow themselves to be derailed by temporary pleasures or short-term setbacks. They stay committed to their goals even when the journey gets tough. This level of focus requires discipline. And discipline starts in the mind. It's about training yourself to prioritize what matters most and to say no to anything that doesn't align with your vision. The mindset for success also involves resilience, the ability to bounce back from adversity. Life will throw challenges at you, and success doesn't mean avoiding those challenges. It means rising above them. Resilient people don't let failure define them. They understand that setbacks are part of the process and that every successful person has faced moments of doubt, struggle, and hardship. What sets the 2% apart is their refusal to give up. They see failure as feedback, not as a final destination. They learn from their mistakes, adjust their approach, and keep moving forward. Resilience is a mental muscle, and like any muscle, it grows stronger with use. One of the most powerful tools in a success mindset is visualization. People who succeed don't just dream about their goals, they see themselves achieving them. They use the power of their imagination to create a clear picture of what success looks like, feels like, and even smells like. This mental practice helps them stay motivated and focused, especially during challenging times. Visualization isn't just wishful thinking. It's a way to program your mind for success. When you consistently imagine yourself reaching your goals, your brain starts to believe it's possible, and your actions align with that belief. A success mindset also includes an attitude of gratitude. While it might seem counterintuitive, being grateful for what you have, even as you strive for more, is a critical part of achieving success. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing in your life to what's already good. This shift creates a positive mental state, which in turn fuels motivation and creativity. People who succeed don't dwell on lack, they focus on abundance. They appreciate the small wins along the way, and that sense of appreciation keeps them energized and optimistic. Another key element of a success mindset is the willingness to take risks. Playing it safe might feel comfortable, but it rarely leads to greatness. The people who achieve extraordinary success are the ones who are willing to step outside their comfort zones. They understand that growth happens in the realm of the unknown. Taking risks doesn't mean being reckless. It means being courageous enough to pursue your goals even when the outcome isn't guaranteed. This kind of courage starts in the mind. It's about choosing to believe that the reward is worth the risk, even when fear tries to hold you back. Lastly, a success mindset involves surrounding yourself with the right influences. The people you spend time with, the books you read, and the media you consume all shape your thoughts and attitudes. Successful people are intentional about their environment. They seek out mentors, role models, and peers who inspire and challenge them to be their best. They avoid negativity and toxic influences that drain their energy or make them doubt themselves. Your environment plays a significant role in shaping your mindset. And the 2% understand this. They create an ecosystem of positivity and growth around them, which helps them stay on track toward their goals. Fear and failure are part of the process. Face them, don't flee. This truth separates those who succeed from those who don't. Fear and failure are often seen as barriers, obstacles that signal danger or discourage progress. For many, these feelings create a sense of paralysis, keeping them from taking risks, stepping out of their comfort zone. But for those who achieve greatness, fear and failure are not roadblocks. They are teachers, motivators, and companions on the journey to success. The way you deal with fear and failure determines whether you will break through or break down. Fear is natural. It's part of being human. It's that voice in your head that whispers, what if it doesn't work out? Or what if you're not good enough? Fear is designed to protect you from harm, to keep you safe from perceived dangers. But the problem is, fear doesn't know the difference between real danger and growth opportunities. It sees stepping into the unknown as a threat, even when that unknown could lead to the life you've always dreamed of. That's why so many people let fear control them. They think if they avoid fear, they'll stay safe. But the truth is, avoiding fear keeps you small. It keeps you trapped in a life that's less than what you're capable of living. The people who succeed aren't fearless. They feel the fear and take action anyway. They understand that fear is a signal, not a stop sign. It's a sign that you're stepping into something new, something bigger than you've done before. Instead of running from it, they lean into it. They ask themselves, what's on the other side of this fear? What's the worst that can happen if I fail? And more often than not, they realize the worst case scenario isn't as bad as their imagination makes it out to be. Fear loses its power when you face it head on and take steps toward it instead of away from it. Failure, like fear, is another unavoidable part of the journey. Nobody achieves success without failing along the way. Failure is often misunderstood. People see it as a sign that they're not good enough, that they should give up, or that success isn't meant for them. But failure isn't a signal to stop. It's an opportunity to learn. Every failure carries a lesson, a piece of information you didn't have before. It shows you what doesn't work so you can get closer to what does. The most successful people in the world have failed more times than they can count. But they didn't let failure define them. They used it as fuel to keep going. One of the biggest reasons people fear failure is because of what others might think. They're afraid of being judged, ridiculed, or criticized. They worry about looking foolish or being seen as weak. But here's the thing. The people who judge you aren't the ones out there taking risks. They're not putting themselves on the line, chasing dreams, or building something meaningful. Their opinions don't matter because they're not walking in your shoes. Successful people understand this. They focus on their journey, not on the opinions of others. They know that failure is not a reflection of their worth, it's a stepping stone to their goals. Another reason people fear failure is the pain that comes with it. Failing can hurt. It can make you feel defeated, frustrated, or even humiliated. But pain is temporary, and it's part of the process. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens when you're stretched, challenged, and pushed beyond your limits. The pain of failure is a sign that you're growing, that you're stepping into new territory. Instead of avoiding it, successful people embrace it. They see it as the price they pay for progress, and they're willing to pay that price over and over again. Fear and failure are also connected to uncertainty. When you're chasing something big, there are no guarantees. You don't know if it's going to work out. You don't know if the effort you're putting in will lead to the result you want. That uncertainty can be terrifying, but it's also where the magic happens. If success were guaranteed, everyone would have it. The uncertainty is what makes the journey worth it. It's what separates the dreamers from the doers. Successful people don't wait for certainty. They move forward despite the unknown. They trust that even if they fail, they'll figure it out. They'll adapt, learn, and try again until they get it right. A crucial part of facing fear and failure is shifting your mindset. Instead of seeing fear as something to avoid, see it as a sign that you're growing. Instead of seeing failure as a dead end, see it as a detour. When you change the way you think about these experiences, you change the way you respond to them. You stop running from them and start seeing them as necessary parts of the process. This shift in perspective gives you the courage to keep going even when things get tough. Another key to dealing with fear and failure is preparation. When you prepare for the challenges ahead, you reduce the power of fear. Preparation doesn't eliminate uncertainty, but it gives you confidence in your ability to handle whatever comes your way. Successful people don't just wing it. They study, practice, and plan. They anticipate obstacles and think about how they'll overcome them. This proactive approach helps them face fear with a sense of control and face failure with a plan for how to bounce back. Support is also essential when it comes to fear and failure. Surrounding yourself with people who believe in you can make all the difference. When you're facing fear or recovering from failure, having a support system reminds you that you're not alone. It gives you the encouragement you need to keep going. Successful people understand the value of community. They seek out mentors, peers, and friends who inspire them, challenge them, and help them stay focused on their goals. One of the most powerful tools for overcoming fear and failure is action. Fear grows when you stand still. The longer you wait, the bigger the fear becomes. But when you take action, even small steps, you start to shrink that fear. Action builds momentum, and momentum builds confidence. The same goes for failure. When you fail, the worst thing you can do is stop. Stopping gives failure the final word. But when you get back up and try again, you take control of the narrative. You show yourself that failure doesn't define you, your persistence does. Ultimately, fear and failure are not your enemies. They are part of the process that shapes you into the person you need to become to achieve your goals. They test your commitment, build your resilience, and teach you lessons you can't learn any other way. When you face them, instead of fleeing from them, you discover a strength within yourself that you didn't know was there. You realize that fear is temporary, failure is temporary, but the growth you gain from overcoming them is permanent. Excuses kill dreams faster than failure ever will. This truth is one of the most critical realities people need to understand if they want to succeed. Excuses are silent dream killers. They creep into your mind, convincing you that it's okay to settle, okay to wait, and okay to stay where you are. But what excuses really do is rob you of your potential. They keep you from taking action, from trying, and ultimately from achieving the life you were meant to live. Failure might knock you down, but excuses stop you from even stepping into the ring. Excuses give people a way to rationalize their inaction. They allow you to shift responsibility from yourself to your circumstances. When you say, I don't have time, or I don't have the resources, what you're really doing is giving yourself permission not to try. It feels safer to blame something external than to admit that you're holding yourself back. But here's the truth. Everyone has challenges. Everyone has limited time, limited resources, and moments of doubt. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't is that successful people don't let those challenges become excuses. They find a way to move forward no matter what. One of the most common excuses people make is the belief that they're not ready. They tell themselves, I'll start when I have more experience, or I'll try when the timing is right. But the truth is, you will never feel fully ready. There will always be something that feels uncertain or incomplete. Waiting for the perfect moment is just another way of procrastinating. Successful people understand that readiness is a myth. They start before they feel ready because they know that action creates readiness. The process of doing, learning, and growing is what prepares you, not sitting around waiting for the stars to align. Another excuse people often use is the idea that they don't have enough resources. They tell themselves they need more money, more connections, or more tools to get started. But the reality is, most successful people started with very little. They didn't have all the resources they needed, but they found a way to make it work. They were resourceful. They used what they had, got creative, and figured out how to move forward one step at a time. When you focus on what you lack, you stay stuck. But when you focus on what you have and how you can use it, you create momentum. Fear of failure is another common excuse. People are so afraid of what might go wrong that they don't even try. They convince themselves that it's better to play it safe than to risk failing. But what they don't realize is that not trying is the ultimate failure. When you let fear of failure hold you back, you guarantee that you'll never achieve your dreams. Successful people understand that failure is part of the process. They know they'll make mistakes, but they also know that each mistake brings them closer to success. They're not afraid to fail because they know that failure is temporary, but regret is permanent. One of the most dangerous excuses is the belief that success is out of reach for people like you. Maybe you think you're too old, too young, or too inexperienced. Maybe you believe your background, circumstances, or past failures disqualify you from achieving greatness. But those are just stories you're telling yourself. The truth is, success doesn't discriminate. It's available to anyone who's willing to work for it. There are countless examples of people who came from nothing and achieved incredible success. The difference is that they didn't let their circumstances become excuses. They decided that their dreams were worth fighting for no matter what. Excuses often come disguised as reasons. They sound logical, even convincing. You might say, I'm too busy, or I have other priorities right now. But if you look closely, you'll see that those are just ways to avoid taking action. The truth is, everyone has the same 24 hours in a day. The difference is how you use them. Successful people make time for what matters. They don't let busyness become an excuse. They find ways to prioritize their goals, even when life gets hectic. They understand that if something is important to you, you'll find a way. If it's not, you'll find an excuse. Sometimes, excuses are born out of a lack of confidence. You might tell yourself, I'm not good enough, or I don't have what it takes. But those thoughts are just fears dressed up as facts. The truth is, nobody starts out feeling confident. Confidence comes from action. The more you do, the more you grow, and the more capable you become. When you let a lack of confidence hold you back, you're robbing yourself of the chance to build that confidence. Successful people push through self-doubt. They take action even when they're scared because they know that courage isn't the absence of fear. It's moving forward despite it. Another common excuse is waiting for motivation. You might think, I'll start when I feel inspired, or I'll work on my goals when I'm in the right mood. But motivation is fleeting. It comes and goes. And if you wait for it, you'll never get it anywhere. Successful people don't rely on motivation. They rely on discipline. You take action whether they feel like it or not. They know that action creates momentum, and momentum creates results. The more you act, the more motivated you become. Waiting for motivation is just another way of putting off what needs to be done. Excuses often stem from comparison. You might look at someone else's success and think they had it easier or they're more talented than me. But comparison is a trap. It shifts your focus away from your own journey and onto someone else's. Everyone's path is different, and comparing yourself to others only creates excuses for why you can't succeed. Successful people focus on their own progress. They don't waste time worrying about what others are doing. They understand that the only competition that matters is the one with themselves. Instead of comparing, they use other people's success as inspiration and proof that achieving their goals is possible. Excuses can also come from a fear of judgment. You might worry about what others will think if you fail or if you don't live up to their expectations. But the truth is, most people are too focused on their own lives to spend much time thinking about yours. The opinions of others don't define you, and they certainly don't determine your potential. Successful people don't let the fear of judgment hold them back. They stay focused on their goals and let their actions speak for themselves. They know that their dreams are worth more than the opinions of people who aren't walking in their shoes. One of the most powerful ways to overcome excuses is to reconnect with your why. When you have a strong reason for pursuing your goals, it becomes harder to justify excuses. Successful people keep their why at the forefront of their minds. They remind themselves of what's at stake and why their dreams matter. This clarity gives them the strength to push past excuses and take consistent action. They understand that their purpose is bigger than their fears, doubts, or challenges. When you're deeply connected to your why, you stop looking for excuses and start looking for solutions. Excuses are comfortable. They give you a way out, a reason to stay where you are. But comfort is the enemy of growth. Successful people don't settle for comfort. They embrace the discomfort that comes with pursuing their goals because they know that's where growth happens. They trade excuses for effort, fear for faith, and doubt for determination. They refuse to let excuses steal their dreams because they know that every excuse they make is a step further from the life they want. The decision to stop making excuses is the decision to take control of your future. The company you keep shapes the person you become. The people you surround yourself with have an extraordinary influence on your mindset, your habits, and ultimately your success. You might not always realize it, but the attitudes, energy, and behaviors of those around you seep into your life in subtle yet powerful ways. That's why choosing the right company is not just a preference, it's a necessity for anyone striving for greatness. Successful people understand that their circle can either elevate them or drag them down, and they make deliberate choices about who they allow into their inner world. Your environment plays a significant role in shaping your beliefs and actions, and people are the most critical part of that environment. When you're surrounded by individuals who are driven, positive, and ambitious, their energy becomes contagious. Their determination inspires you to aim higher. Their discipline pushes you to work harder, and their success shows you what's possible. On the other hand, when you're constantly around people who are negative, complacent, or unmotivated, it's easy to adopt their mindset. You start to settle for less, lower your expectations, and make excuses for why you can't achieve more. This is why your circle isn't just a reflection of who you are today, it's a preview of who you'll become. One of the most important lessons about the company you keep is that not everyone can come with you on your journey. As you grow, your priorities shift, your mindset evolves, and your goals become clearer. This growth often creates a natural distance between you and those who aren't moving in the same direction. It's not about cutting people off or thinking you're better than anyone else. It's about protecting your energy and staying focused on your vision. Some people are comfortable staying where they are, and that's their choice. But if you want to reach new heights, you need to surround yourself with people who share that same hunger for growth. The people in your circle should challenge you to be better. They should push you out of your comfort zone and hold you accountable for your actions. True friends and mentors aren't afraid to tell you the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. They're not there to enable your excuses or let you settle for mediocrity. They're there to help you grow. Sometimes this means having difficult conversations or hearing things you don't want to hear, but that's the kind of support that leads to real progress. Successful people value this type of honest feedback because they know it's essential for their development. It's not just about finding people who challenge you, it's also about finding people who believe in you. There's something powerful about having a circle that supports your dreams and encourages you to keep going, especially during tough times. These are the people who remind you of your potential when you start to doubt yourself. They see the best in you, even when you can't see it. Their belief in your abilities can give you the confidence to take risks, overcome obstacles, and keep pushing forward. Surrounding yourself with people who lift you up creates a positive feedback loop that fuels your motivation and determination. Negativity is one of the biggest threats to success, and it often comes from the people closest to us. It might be friends or family members who constantly doubt your goals, criticize your efforts, or bring a pessimistic energy into your life. While their intentions might not be malicious, their impact can be incredibly damaging. Constant exposure to negativity drains your energy, undermines your confidence, and makes it harder to stay focused on your goals. Successful people recognize this and set boundaries to protect their peace. They limit their interactions with negative influences and prioritize relationships that bring positivity and encouragement into their lives. The company you keep also affects your habits. Humans are social creatures, and we tend to mirror the behaviors of those around us. If you're surrounded by people who are disciplined, hardworking, and focused, those traits will naturally rub off on you. You'll start adopting their habits, whether it's waking up early, staying consistent with your goals, or finding creative solutions to problems. On the flip side, if you're surrounded by people who lack ambition or engage in unproductive behaviors, it's easy to fall into the same patterns. Your habits are a reflection of your environment, and your environment is largely defined by the people in it. Another critical aspect of the company you keep is the exchange of knowledge and ideas. Being around people who are smarter, more experienced, or more knowledgeable than you is one of the fastest ways to grow. These individuals can teach you lessons you might not learn on your own, share insights that open your mind to new possibilities, and provide guidance that shortens your learning curve. Successful people actively seek out mentors, coaches, and peers who can expand their perspective and help them reach their goals. They understand that collaboration and learning from others are essential components of success. It's also important to remember that the company you keep should be mutually beneficial. While it's crucial to have people who inspire and support you, it's equally important to bring value to those relationships. Be the type of person who uplifts, encourages, and challenges others to be their best. When you contribute positivity, effort, and support to your relationships, you create a dynamic where everyone grows together. Successful people build strong networks, not just by taking, but by giving as well. They invest in their relationships, knowing that the more they pour into others, the more they receive in return. Choosing the right company often requires making tough decisions. You might have to distance yourself from people who no longer align with your values or goals. This doesn't mean cutting ties completely or holding grudges. It simply means recognizing that not everyone is meant to be on the same path as you. Growth requires making space for new relationships that align with where you're headed. Successful people are intentional about this process. They constantly evaluate their circle, looking for opportunities to connect with like-minded individuals who share their vision and values. The people you surround yourself with also influence your self-perceiver. If you're constantly around people who see you as small or incapable, it's easy to internalize those beliefs. But when you're surrounded by people who see your potential and treat you like the person you aspire to become, you start to see yourself that way too. This shift in self-perception can be a game changer. Successful people surround themselves with individuals who reinforce their confidence and help them maintain a positive self-image. They understand that how you see yourself directly impacts what you believe you can achieve. Your circle can also serve as a source of accountability. When you're surrounded by people who are focused on their goals, it creates a sense of responsibility to stay on track with your own. These individuals won't let you slack off or make excuses. They'll call you out when you're not living up to your potential and celebrate with you when you reach milestones. This kind of accountability is invaluable because it keeps you grounded and focused even when the journey gets tough. Successful people value this accountability and actively seek out relationships that challenge them to stay disciplined and committed. The company you keep is also a reflection of your standards. If you surround yourself with people who settle for less, it's easy to lower your standards to match theirs. But when you're surrounded by people who strive for excellence, you're inspired to do the same. High achievers naturally raise the bar for those around them, creating an environment where growth and success become the norm. Successful people seek out these high-standard environments because they know that being in the presence of excellence pushes them to become better versions of themselves. Every relationship in your life either adds to your progress or takes away from it. The company you keep has the power to shape your thoughts, actions, and ultimately your future. Successful people understand this and are intentional about who they allow into their lives. They surround themselves with individuals who inspire, challenge, and support them, and they distance themselves from relationships that drain their energy or hold them back. The quality of your relationships has a direct impact on the quality of your life, and it's up to you to choose wisely. Action is the bridge between dreams and reality. You can have all the ideas, plans, and goals in the world, but without action, they remain nothing more than wishful thinking. Action is what separates those who succeed from those who don't. It's the difference between talking about your dreams and actually living them. Every step you take, no matter how small, moves you closer to the life you envision. It's not enough to want something. You have to be willing to work for it. Dreams require effort, persistence, and the courage to take that first step, even when you're unsure of the outcome. One of the biggest reasons people don't take action is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, and fear of the unknown can paralyze you. It's easy to get stuck in a cycle of overthinking, analyzing every possible outcome, and convincing yourself that now isn't the right time. But the truth is, waiting for the perfect moment is just an excuse to delay. There will never be a perfect time to start. Successful people understand this and take action despite their fears. They know that the only way to overcome fear is to face it head on. Action diminishes fear because it shifts your focus from what could go wrong to what you can do right now. Another reason people hesitate to act is because they underestimate the power of small steps. They think success requires massive, life-changing actions, and when they can't take those actions immediately, they do nothing at all. But success isn't about grand gestures. It's about consistent, incremental progress. Small actions taken consistently over time add up to significant results. Each step you take builds momentum, and that momentum creates confidence. Even if your steps feel insignificant in the moment, they're moving you closer to your goals. Successful people understand the value of starting small and staying consistent. They focus on progress, not perfection. Taking action also requires a willingness to embrace uncertainty. When you step outside your comfort zone and try something new, there's always a risk of failure, but there's also the potential for growth, learning, and success. The most significant achievements in life often come from taking risks and pushing beyond what feels safe. If you're waiting for certainty before you act, you'll be waiting forever. Successful people accept that uncertainty is part of the process. They don't let it hold them back because they know that taking action, even in the face of uncertainty, is the only way to move forward. Procrastination is one of the biggest barriers to action, and it's easy to put things off. Telling yourself you'll get to them later, but later often turns into never. Procrastination is a form of self-sabotage that keeps you stuck in the same place. The longer you wait to take action, the harder it becomes to start. Successful people combat procrastination by focusing on discipline rather than motivation. They don't wait to feel ready or inspired. They take action regardless of how they feel. They create routines, set deadlines, and hold themselves accountable to ensure they stay on track. They understand that the key to overcoming procrastination is the start, even if it's just a small step. Action requires commitment. It's not enough to act once and expect instant results. Success is a journey, not a destination, and it demands consistent effort over time. This means showing up every day, even when it's hard, even when you don't see immediate progress, and even when you feel like giving up. Commitment means staying the course, adapting to challenges, and refusing to quit. Successful people are deeply committed to their goals. They don't let setbacks or obstacles derail them because they understand that persistence is the key to long-term success. They treat every action as a building block, knowing that each one contributes to their ultimate vision. Taking action also requires clarity. If you don't know what you want or where you're going, it's easy to get stuck in a cycle of indecision. Clarity gives you direction and purpose, making it easier to take the first step. Successful people take the time to define their goals and create a clear plan of action. They break their goals down into smaller, manageable steps and focus on one thing at a time. This approach not only makes the process less overwhelming, but also helps them stay focused and motivated. Clarity eliminates confusion and creates a roadmap for success. Sometimes taking action means stepping into roles or situations you feel unprepared for. You might think you need more experience, more knowledge, or more resources before you can start. But the truth is, action is often the best teacher. You learn by doing, by making mistakes, and by figuring things out as you go. Successful people don't wait until they feel ready because they know that readiness comes through action. They take the leap, trusting that they'll figure things out along the way. This willingness to act despite uncertainty or inexperience is what allows them to grow and achieve their goals. One of the most powerful aspects of action is its ability to create momentum. The first step is always the hardest, but once you take it, the next step becomes easier. Momentum builds confidence and motivation, making it easier to keep going. Successful people understand the importance of momentum and use it to their advantage. They take action every day, no matter how small, to maintain their forward progress. They don't wait for inspiration or ideal circumstances. They create their own momentum through consistent effort. This momentum becomes a driving force that propels them closer to their goal. Action also requires resilience. Not every step you take will lead to success, and that's okay. Failure is a natural part of the journey. The key is to learn from your mistakes and keep moving forward. Resilience means getting back up every time you fall and refusing to let setbacks define you. Successful people view failure as a learning opportunity rather than a roadblock. They take action, knowing that mistakes are inevitable, but also necessary for growth. Their resilience allows them to persevere through challenges and setbacks, turning obstacles into stepping stones. Taking action often means stepping away from perfectionism. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that everything needs to be perfect before you can move forward. But perfectionism, just another form of procrastination. Waiting for perfection keeps you stuck in planning mode, preventing you from making progress. Successful people understand that done is better than perfect. They take imperfect action, knowing that they can refine and improve along the way. This willingness to start, even when things aren't perfect, is what sets them apart and allows them to achieve their goals. Action also fosters a sense of empowerment. When you take control of your life and start making things happen, you realize how much power you have to shape your future. Each step you take reinforces the belief that you are capable of creating the life you want. This sense of empowerment fuels your confidence and motivates you to keep going. Successful people take ownership of their actions and their outcome. They don't wait for someone else to give them permission or pave the way. They take initiative and create their own opportunities. One of the most underestimated aspects of action is its ability to inspire others. When you take bold steps toward your goals, you become a source of motivation for those around you. Your actions show others what's possible and encourage them to pursue their own dreams. Successful people understand that their actions have a ripple effect. They lead by example, inspiring others through their determination, resilience, and commitment. This creates a positive cycle where their actions not only benefit themselves, but also uplift and empower those around them. Taking action requires focus. In a world full of distractions, it's easy to lose sight of your goals and get sidetracked by unimportant things. Successful people prioritize their actions, focusing on what truly matters and letting go of what doesn't. They eliminate distractions, set boundaries, and stay disciplined to ensure their efforts are aligned with their goals. This laser-focused approach allows them to make consistent progress and avoid wasting time on activities that don't contribute to their success. By staying focused, they maximize the impact of their actions and move closer to their dreams with each step.